Jensen Huang is the 20th richest man in the world according to Forbes in 2024 and the CEO and co-founder of Nvidia, a company that became the third most valuable publicly traded firm in 2023 after Microsoft and Apple, with a valuation of over $2.2 trillion. On the one hand, this is a story about the unknown man who was the godfather of AI behind the scenes of the AI revolution from the beginning, who explored the opportunities in the AI field and played an important role in technology. But on the other hand, this is also the story of an incredibly creative and hardworking entrepreneur who climbed his way from washing dishes and cleaning toilets in local Denny's to building a $1 trillion company, which is now the pioneer in the AI revolution. This is the crazy true story of Jensen Huang. Jensen was born in Tainan, Taiwan in 1963, and the first years of his life were marked by moves. Funny enough, Taiwan is now the world's leading nation when it comes to semiconductor manufacturing. When Jensen was 5 years old, the Huang family moved to Thailand, but his stay in the country would not be long-lived. After Huang's father had been part of a worker training program in the US with the air conditioner manufacturer career, he made a promise that he would send his children to America. This was due to the ample opportunities available in the US, as well as due to the instability in the region as the Vietnam War raged just across Thai border. To prepare her children for a future on the other side of the world, his mother, who didn't speak or understand any English at the time, began teaching them. She picked 10 words from the dictionary every day, and Jensen and his brother would learn and repeat them back to her. Needless to say, Jensen now is very thankful to his mother. Of course, because he became a billionaire and he co-founded, Nvidia. And he thanks his mother because he put him in a position to succeed. The Huang brothers were eventually sent to Oneida, Kentucky to attend elementary school and live with relatives, and the years following the move were tough for the young Jensen. He had trouble fitting in with his peers and has spoken openly about attending school for so-called problematic students, where he was made to clean toilets. The parents later emigrated as well, and the family made their home just outside of Portland, Oregon, where Jensen was able to settle in better. While he still had trouble connecting with his fellow high school students from time to time, he excelled in his studies and worked his first job at a local Denny's. After high school, Jensen set his sights on higher education. His time at university started at Oregon State, where he earned a bachelor's degree in engineering. While his time at OSU built the foundation of knowledge he would need to succeed in the industry, this is also where he met his future wife Lori, who was his lab partner in an electrical engineering class. Huang is still married to Lori, and he jokingly says that the killer pickup line was just saying that he wants to show her his homework, which is basic and the typical one that all students use in the university. Interestingly, it also seems like graphic cards and semiconductors run in the family. Jensen and Lisa, the CEO of AMD, are related. The now rival CEOs are first cousins. And while this is something that is far from being a secret, the two don't appear to very close and rarely speak of each other in anything other than professional terms. Both Huang and Sue are originally from Taiwan and share family ties, but didn't know each other growing up, and it appears they see each other mainly as competitors rather than family. After graduating from OSU in 1984, Huang entered the workforce and gained experience at companies like AMD and LSI Logic. His time at AMD was short, with him being at the company for a little over a year, but laid the foundation for his future success in the industry. While with AMD, he worked in the design of microprocessors, small electronic devices that perform the functions of a central processing unit of a computer, or CPU, on a single integrated circuit. Ironically enough, Nvidia and AMD are now head-to-head competitors, with both graphic processors and data center optimized central processors. After his time at AMD, he was hired by LSI Logic, which is now owned by Broadcom. This was during a very exciting time in his former employer's history, as the company had gone public 2 years earlier and was still rapidly growing and expanding. LSI was at the time a semiconductor manufacturer whose products were used to improve storage capacity and network speed in areas such as networks and data centers. During his time there, Huang held several positions within the company, including engineering, marketing, and eventually general management positions. After gaining experience at AMD and LSI Logic, he moved to Stanford and earned a master's degree in electrical engineering in 1992. Nvidia was founded in 1993 by Huang, Chris Malachowski, and Curtis Prem, the two other co-founders who together brought experience from Sun Microsystems and IBM, met together with Huang at a Denny's just outside of San Jose, and while eating dinner food, founded Nvidia with only $40,000 in starting capital. In a talk in 2023, Jensen described a proud moment that had happened during the previous year relating to the founding of Nvidia. He was contacted by the CEO of Denny's, who was happy to inform him that the booth where Nvidia was founded had received a plaque with the inscription, "The Nvidia Booth," the booth that launched a $1 trillion company. Nvidia was founded during a time when the PC industry was just gaining momentum, and the industry was just beginning to grasp the impact the central processing unit, or CPU, was going to have. Nvidia's founding team was convinced that GPUs weren't going to be the solution to all computational problems, and envisioned a future of accelerated computing. They figured that if the accelerated computing vision would come to life, the world would need to specialize purpose-built hardware. The first example of this was the graphics processing unit, or GPU, which was Nvidia's first blockbuster product and an incredible innovation in the world of computer graphics. This is something that Jensen describes as putting a specialist near to generalist. So CPU in this case is the generalist, which is the jack of all trades. And the GPU comes to solve more complex problems when the CPU is enabled to solve efficiently. However, success was far from certain. Jensen had described the idea of GPUs as an unfundable idea due to how outlandish it sounded at that time. In a sense, Nvidia was founded during a time when all eyes and venture capital were focused on CPUs without an application on the market, and with a massive need for R&D expenditure. Huang has described the founding of Nvidia a market challenge, a technology challenge, an ecosystem challenge with approximately zero chance of success. He even said that he would have not funded himself, the Nvidia, in the early days. At that time, by having only 40 grand capital in the bank, they needed to raise money, which they did subsequently by receiving $20 million in venture capital funding from Sequoia Capital and others like Don Valentine. Valentine was one of the most influential venture capitalists in the industry during the time and was given the blunt advice to give this kid money and figure out if it's going to work. Roughly 20 years later, we know that it's indeed a work, and Nvidia became a massive success. But would this be the future and the fate of Nvidia? Or is just going to be another Cisco's like 90s? I mean, we don't know. We have to wait until the end of this video to figure it out together. Nvidia's first chip, the Nv1, was released in 1995. Unfortunately, the chip tried to do many things, and it failed to win many paying customers. Nvidia, just 2 years old at the time, nearly went bankrupt and was forced to lay off half its employees, keeping about 40. But its third chip, the Riva 128, which was released in 1997, proved to be a breakout success. It was up to 400% faster than any other graphic processor, and the company's survival was assured. Nvidia became a major force in the computer gaming industry with the launch of the Riva series of graphic processors. However, there are always setbacks in the way of success. Nvidia failed for an initial IPO in early 1998, but the company delayed its IPO until January 1999. During 1998, it was hit with several patent infringement lawsuits from its competitors, including Silicon Graphics. All of the lawsuits focused on Nvidia's use of multi-texturing technology. Meanwhile, Nvidia's Riva TNT won PC Magazine's Editor's Choice Award for the most impressive implementation of combined 2D and 3D performance we've seen. Also, Nvidia was named the most respected private fabless semiconductor company for the second consecutive year by the Fabless Semiconductor Association, or FSA. At the Fall 98 Conduct Trade Show, Nvidia introduced the Nvidia Vanta, a graphic accelerator designed to bring desktop computer graphics to the corporate market. The release of the Riva TNT in 1998 solidified Nvidia's reputation for developing capable graphic adapters. Finally, in 1999, Nvidia went public in January. Later on, Nvidia released the GeForce 256 NV10, most notably introducing onboard transformation and lightning to consumer-level 3D hardware. Running at 120 MHz and featuring 4-pixel pipelines, it implemented advanced video acceleration, motion compensation, and hardware sub-picture alpha blending. The GeForce outperformed existing products by a wide margin. It made games look amazing, like stepping into a magical world. In the dawn of the new millennium, amidst the rapidly evolving landscape of technology, Nvidia emerged as a beacon of innovation, posed to redefine the world of computing. Due to the success of its products, Nvidia won the contract to develop the graphics hardware for Microsoft's Xbox game console, which earned Nvidia a $200 million in advance. However, the project took many of its best engineers away from other projects. In the short time, this didn't matter, and the GeForce 2 GTS shipped in the summer of 2000. With the unveiling of the GeForce 2 GPU, Nvidia ushered a new era of gaming, featuring transformative technologies such as transform and lightning TNL acceleration. The GeForce 2 captivated audiences with its unparalleled graphics performance and realism. Over the next decade, Nvidia would solidify its position as a formidable gaming console chip supplier. In the middle of the decade, Sony would select Nvidia to assist in the design of the RSX Reality Synthesizer proprietary graphics processor for the Sony PlayStation 3. As the years passed, Nvidia continued to push the boundaries of visual computing, introducing a series of groundbreaking GPUs that set new standards for performance and innovation. The GeForce 3, with its programmable shading capabilities, marked a significant milestone in graphics technology, enabling developers to create more dynamic and realistic visual effects. Basically, after GeForce 3, Nvidia proved itself in the gaming market, not just in gaming consoles, in the market itself. During 2001, Nvidia continued to post record revenue, and it ended the year with revenue of $1.37 billion, again nearly doubling the revenue of the previous year. Net income also rose substantially to $176.9 million. The company's stock price rose from $16.5 at the beginning of the year to $66.9 at the end of 2001. In December 2001, Nvidia replaced Enron Corporation in the S&P 500, and the company was named the most respected public fabless semiconductor company by the Fabless Semiconductor Association. Although Nvidia's first focus was gaming industry, its ambitions went far beyond gaming industry. In 2003, Nvidia worked with NASA to develop a photorealistic Mars simulation. Nvidia also became a major graphic chip supplier for several Audi's vehicles. At the same time, Nvidia tried to acquire different companies and startups, including Xluna, which was making software rendering tools at the time, MediaQ, Irony, ULI Electronics, and Hybrid Graphics. Also, Nvidia faced multiple lawsuits regarding antitrust violation in graphic cards. I don't know, but maybe the competitors like AMD, which acquired ADI, was not happy about the speed in which Nvidia was progressing and becoming the tech giant in the market. As the first half of the 20s drew to a close, Nvidia had firmly established itself as a leader in visual computing. Their relentless pursuit of innovation had not only transformed the gaming industry, but also opened up new frontiers in scientific research and computational modeling. And as the world looked towards the future, one thing was certain: the story of Nvidia was just beginning. Nvidia's ambitions extended far beyond gaming. In the shadows of their laboratories, a secret project was underway, one that would unlock the true potential of their GPUs for general-purpose computing tasks. A project called CODA, a new GPU architecture that can be programmed directly in C to accelerate mathematical processing, simplifying its use in parallel computing. With CODA, researchers, scientists, and developers gained access to a powerful tool that would accelerate simulations, data processing, and scientific computations like never before. Jensen Huang had an itch that the graphic chips had more potential than just power video games. But what he didn't expect was his shift to deep learning. It was at that moment that Mr. Huang took a decision crucial to the development of AI as we know it. There were two limitations to adapting the technology: the amount of data needed to train the algorithms and the access to greater horsepower for computing. While the internet solved the first problem of data availability, the launch of CODA in 2006 solved the later. The programming toolkit allowed coders to program individual pixels on a screen easily. CODA introduced the ease of programming a high-level language like Java or C++ to GPUs. Basically, Jensen Huang provided the power needed for high computation, which I believe is the future currency in the AI revolution. But was CODA the end of Nvidia's project in the AI revolution? Well, you have to see yourself. In 2007, the company entered the mobile market with the Tegra system on a chip platform, targeting smartphones and tablets. In the same year, Forbes named Nvidia its Company of the Year for 2007, citing the accomplishments it made during the set period as well as during the previous 5 years. In the last 3 years of the first decade of 21st century, Nvidia continued acquiring different companies like AGI, developer of the physics engine and physics processing unit. Nvidia announced that it planned to integrate the physics technology into the future GPU products. In the same period, Nvidia faced some lawsuits again regarding certain mobile chipsets and GPUs produced by the company having abnormal failure rates due to manufacturing defects. Nvidia became the subject of a class action lawsuits over the defects, claiming that the faulty GPUs had been incorporated into certain laptop models manufactured by Apple, Dell, and HP. Nvidia finally in 2010 reached a settlement in which it would reimburse owners of the affected laptops for repairs or in some cases replacements.